Wow. Just wow. I didn't think you guys could pull it off, but you did. And whoa. Just I did not think you guys were going to pull it off. I really didn't. I doubted you guys. And wow. Good job, guys. Good Power Rangers, man. Just there's only one thing I can say right now. It's Morphin time! Tiger Zord! What's up, people? Reckless Fox here, and yes, we are reviewing the Power Rangers movie, but I am not doing this alone. Rocking with me today, he is the man with the plan. He is my boy. He has been helping me out and support, and we try to make things big. This is gonna be the Scrub Club Nation's year. Say hello to MrGodchild15. Take it away.
Hey, what it do? It's your boy Godchild. God bless y'all.
And yeah, so GC and I have both saw the new Power Rangers movie that came out nationwide on Friday. I got the chance to see the movie early, a day early. I went to the premiere of Power Rangers on Thursday at Pasadena, and I'm not even gonna front with y'all. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. If you are a Power Rangers fan, you are going to like this movie. If you have never watched Power Rangers or never been interested in Power Rangers, you actually might like this movie. But I'll take my word for it. GC, what were your thoughts on the movie? We'll get into discussion on the positives and negatives of the movie.
For my opinion, it was well done, because I've been battling when it first been announced that they was gonna do Power Rangers reboot, and it's just like, man, this is like my childhood memory. I mean, my childhood memory just as in, like, please, this is Power Rangers, don't mess this up, please don't mess this up. So it's just like, when Saturday came, me and my boy Scotty, aka Big Cheese, we went to go see it. I was excited, but at the same time I was scared, because I don't know if it's gonna be a bad movie, because a lot of people said it was okay, like it wasn't all that great or whatever. So I went in just like skeptical, but so far it was well done. It was pretty good. But just like my boy Reckless said and everything, there's his good, there's his negatives, and there's basically so much to discuss as in what they can do to improve. And if y'all haven't seen it, I really recommend for you guys to go see it. And there's a spoiler, but it's gonna be later.
Yes. This is real quick before we even get into it. Let it be known, this is a spoiler review. If you have not watched Power Rangers yet, then do not watch it. We're just gonna tell you right now, the movie is worth the money. Go see it. I saw it twice to make sure it's captured that magic with the first time I saw it, and you know what? It still did. I was able to find some of the problems with the movie, but other than that, the movie is still all around surprisingly very well done. I give kudos to Saban. I give kudos to Lionsgate for pulling it off. You did a great job at a reimagination of the Power Rangers doing this movie, and we're gonna get right into that. First, and that's actually going to segue into what I think about the positives. Again, this movie is a great reimagining of the Power Rangers, because this is a new take on season 1, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. These are not your 5 kids. Well, they do have attitudes, but these are not your kids from the Saturday morning Power Rangers. These are not your go lucky Boy Scouts and I'm gonna do the right thing. No, these are legit teenagers. Like, if you were like 17 again, you can understand the issues that are going on with them. Like Zach, well, he's Asian in this one. Zach's mama might have cancer. Kimberly got in some really bad crap. Jason is your your jock who did something really stupid is now on house arrest. Billy's socially awkward. Trini is a closet lesbian. Even though they don't talk about it all that much, which I'm actually gonna get into that right now. Like, you legit can see these issues. Like, they're dealing, these versions of the original cast are dealing with modern day issues.
Yes.
And that's what I enjoy about the movie. I'm happy that it wasn't about Junior spandex and like Rita coming out of the dumpster or anything like that. Like, the first 15-20 minutes in the movie, we're being introduced to characters that we're gonna at one point have to care about, and we do care about them. We genuinely care about these characters. They have agency to them, especially Billy and Trini. Overall, like, again, I really think that they went a great direction putting Power Rangers in modern day and having to deal with modern issues of today.
Yes.
What about you, GC?
Just going off by seeing it, I was talking to my bro that just by, the first few minutes as in, get to knowing each character and just seeing, like, the environment they're in, honestly, it gave me the feel that I thought they were just like troubled youth that was like in a continuation school, where that's how the trailer basically throws off and giving us a teaser of a perspective sense, as in, okay, these ain't, I understand this is a reboot, and these ain't your modern day teenagers or whatever. Like, these basically teenagers have issues, and they're basically at a special school or whatever to deal with these. That teachers can deal with these issues. But just by going off watching, and in theaters, it's like, they're just ordinary teenagers in the ordinary high school. But we, as a teenager growing up, you make mistakes, and hey, you go to you in detention or whatever. So that's how it pretty much is or whatever. But I like how basically it just targets, each and every individual, perspective of where they're coming from and what they're struggling with. And even a little bit later, like, I want to go beyond myself. I want to wait till, Reckless, basically get to that part and everything where it tackles each and every individual secrets of why they struggling in certain areas in their lives.
Yep. Like, yeah, dude, what GC said, I'm sorry, I'm still under, I'm still just, my mind's still boggled over the fact that this movie is actually good. And we can actually talk about the cast. Like, the cast, as usual, people are saying the cast is very diverse. The cast itself is really good. Like, they actually do a very good job. Isn't the guy who plays Billy, wasn't it RJ Cycle?
Nah, RJ Seiler.
Andre Seiler. Yeah, RJ Seiler.
RJ Seiler, yeah.
RJ Seiler does a great job. Becky G plays Trini, did a great job. Naomi Scott, who, in my prediction discussion of Power Rangers, the movie from last week, looks so much like freaking Kimberly after Amy Jo Johnson's Kimberly after she cuts her hair. It's kind of scary. Then Jason and everyone like that. I feel
DeCray Montgomery.
Yeah, who played Montgomery? Yeah, that guy, DeCray Montgomery. I will say this one issue, and it's not with the movie. I think one of the issues is a lot of magazines and a lot of articles are going around the internet saying like how diverse like Power Rangers is. Like, oh my god, like Billy's autistic. This is great. This is a great change. And like Trini's gay. Like, it's a great. I'm like, wait, time out. No. I think you guys are getting this wrong. You're making it sound as if the movie focuses on their struggles. Like, yes, Billy is. They mention that Billy is on the spectrum. They only mention it in one scene, but that doesn't hinder his character whatsoever. They just mention it because of the fact that like this it's what makes his personality, but it's not like he's using it as an excuse. And the only time you know whether or not Trini may or may not be gay or probably bisexual, who knows, is in the campfire scene when they're all talking and stuff after they can't morph after like several training sessions, and Zoran's like, I'm sick of you niggas, you gotta get out, I need to get a break. But like, they only mentioned both of their struggles like in one scene, and they did it in a genuine good way in which it's not shoved down the audience's throat. Because I think the one thing that including myself, you know, it's one thing that when you're tackling like social issues. It's another thing when it is hindering the plot. Like it's like I don't need, like, I would have been really, I would have not given this movie praise as much as I am. It had they completely shoved the fact that Billy is on the spectrum down our throats. Like I'm glad they tackled it in one scene, and you remember it, but at the same time, it's not be like, oh my god, what's gonna happen with him now, and whatnot. So I am glad they did not do that, but I just think that critics and I think that magazines and stuff like that need to like chill out with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing is, the characters themselves actually had a lot more time to be developed. Like you weren't in the command center the entire time with Zordon and whatnot. Which reminds me, the fact that Zordon was the original Red Ranger in this universe of Power Rangers is actually really cool. Like genuinely Power Rangers before the actual Power Rangers, and the fact that Zordon actually, when Zordon is first introduced in Power in the movie, like his first thought is like, Alpha, I gave you these, I died protecting these coins, and you mean to tell me that these 5 children are going to protect this world? Are you kidding me? And like it tackles the one issue that I'm pretty sure myself and a bunch of other Power Ranger fans are like, why would you give the power of like of warriors to save a galaxy? Why would you give that type of power to a bunch of teenagers? 5 teenagers with attitude. Like, we don't, I'd rather have like a police officer or a cop or a Navy SEAL. I already said, oh, I'm sorry, a police officer or a paramedic or a Navy SEAL be a Power Ranger. Why would I want a 14-year-old child who's barely hitting puberty and who's barely like looking at girls and is probably whacking off somewhere to protect Earth? I'm just saying.
Well, technically, look at the irony of it. When you look at either Power Rangers Forever Red or Super Mega Force, where,
oh my god, we're not gonna talk about let's not talk about Super Mega Force. Super Mega Force is trash. Please, let's not talk about
all those Rangers who did become,
my god,
paramedics. You
did not just bring up Mega Force. Okay, dude, people don't watch Mega Force. Mega Force is garbage, okay? And the only reason why GC's mentioned is because GC has kids, and I'm pretty sure his kid watches Mega Force. I'm sorry, but yeah. Here, what are your positives about it too? Because I might dive into the negatives at one point.
So far, just as in, like, you know, I just love basically where you can kind of get, like, you know, the background of each character.
You brought in Mega Force. I'm still that. Oh my god, bro, you suck.
Because all you said, like, you know, if Zordon could use a police officer or a paramedic or whatever. Because I mean, we think about it, after the Rangers basically left the war and then the new Rangers came in, they did become paramedics or firefighters.
You mean like Lightspeed Rescue? you like, because I'm like, Tommy never became. Like,
no, I'm talking about the other Rangers.
Oh yeah, like Lightspeed Rescue, like, yeah, Lightspeed Rescue and Time Force and the rest of the shows, like SPD, they actually had jobs when they were not, you know, fighting to protect the galaxy and stuff like that. Oh my god, yeah. you make me sick. You brought Mega Force, Jesus Christ. Yeah, and also, and again, not again, but they actually did balance out the cheesiness of Power Rangers with a more kind of gritty version. Like, I think that's what people are now wanting to, like, the whole trend of like movies and whatnot, like when it comes to like any like childhood show being rebooted into a movie, or like any comic book movie after The Dark Knight, everything wants to be all dark and gritty. With this one, I feel as if they didn't go all gritty, but they didn't go all cheesy. They gave you just the right amount. It's like making a perfect batch of Kool-Aid. It's not too sugary, it's not too watery, it's just right. If you know what I'm talking about. So like, you had your cheesy moments, like the scene where Billy was, when Zach was like, I'm black, and Billy's like, what? He's like, I'm black. He's like, no, you're not. Like that was kind of cheesy, but that was really funny. And like with the dark parts, I'm like, I think when it comes to like dark stuff, like they have like kind of like crude comedy. Like in the first 5 minutes of the movie, when like Jason steals like the rival team's like mascot, like it was a bull or something like that. Yeah, cow. And his friend was like, yeah, man, I uttered him. I already like what do you do? I already milked him. It was all good. It's like him is like like does it have one or four? Like one. I was like, that's a dude. And he's like, oh yeah, maybe that's why I was like pulling on with 2 hands. I'm like, oh dude, the entire movie theater cracked up when they heard that joke. So you knew that point is like, maybe your kid should not watch this, or maybe they're gonna be asking you questions on what he meant by that.
Yeah.
And I think the overall writing to the movie, it was good, but it had its flat moments. Like, and the director does a really good job with the cinematography. Like, and I know the director's name. He's a guy who also directed Project Almanac. It's Dean Israelite. Oh my god, Israelite, or what? Oh my god, I have friends who are, oh my god, my pastor's gonna kill me if she hears this review. His name's Dean something, and he also did he was the director of Project Almanac. And the first 5 minutes, like when Jason is escaping from the police, because it's kind of a felony when you steal other people's stuff. And it is, and you see him do a getaway, and throughout the entire scene, it's not cut whatsoever. It's a one shot in which you are seeing him drive away from the police. You do see the camera rotate to see what's going on around him, and then when he crashes, and you see in his view that the car is tumbling and stuff like that, and he gets into an accident. It's actually a really, really well shot scene, and again, kudos to Dean for that. And I put on my notes, Zordon was kind of a jerk, and rightfully so. He watches his entire team died because his one teammate, which is Rita, wanted, hey, you know what? F y'all.
Decided to go rogue.
Yeah, she wanted to go rogue. Like, she's like, F y'all guys. I want more power. I'm the Green Ranger. I can do whatever I want. And it was actually really cool. Again, it's funny how Zordon like talks about he just shoots the irony out. It's like, these teenagers are going to protect the guy. Okay, you know what? Alpha, throw them in the pit. We gonna train them. We'll train them real quick. Because we got 11 days until Rita gets here, and then she's gonna release Goldar, and we'll talk about Goldar in a minute. But yeah, like, dude, I'm talking way too much. Don't you got any more things to say? Because I got a few more things on my notes before we go into the next.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Are you sure? Okay.
I'm positive.
And again, like I said, these are this is the last thing on my notes, but again, these are characters. These aren't the kids that you saw in the TV show, and I think that was a great idea, and I think that was a great plan that they did. Like, don't make this movie like a show, because speaking as a Power Ranger fan, before the movie even came out, Twitch was showing a live streaming all 836 episodes of Power Rangers right now. Yeah, it's still going on, because I'm pretty sure they're on like Super Dino Charge now. But it's from Mighty Morphin all the way to the most recent one, which is I think Ninja Steel, which I'm actually watching right now. And I'm like, you know what? This was a good version, because of the fact that, I'm sorry, I love Power Rangers, but let's just face it, the dialogue is awful. The dialogue is cheesy. Granted, you're not watching Power Rangers because you want good written dialogue. You're watching it because it's flashy, it has really cool effects, has really good action. You have somewhat decent dialogue when you get to In Space. You actually get better dialogue when you get to In Space compared to the other seasons, and then Time Force, and then all that stuff, until at one point they said screw like dialogue and stuff like that. But yeah, like, and I actually got into a debate about this with a friend of mine, because I told him that I saw it and I thought it was good, and he says that he's ashamed that I would watch something that disrespects the legacy of Power Rangers, and I'm like, I'm sorry. How does this movie disrespect the legacy of Power Rangers? First of all, this is a reimagining of Mighty Morphin, the original Power Rangers, in a way in which people of the modern day, like especially teenagers today, can relate to it. Yes, it's cheesy. Yes, it's sometimes dark, but in a way, it tackles real life issues without hammering you with it. It tackles issues of being a teenager. It tackles issues of being part of a small town. It tackles issues on whether being more than just who you are, being something else, being going above and beyond of what you can do. Okay, these were not handed out to them. They had to earn their spot as Power Rangers. They were not trained in martial arts. They didn't even know what martial arts was. They had 11 days to get to learn to know how to fight. And I'm pretty sure when they morphed, their armor pretty much helped them out but that's a different story. I think they kind of took inspiration from the rated R fan film, but I'll talk about that in a minute. And I even told this dude, bro, you make it sound like I voted for Donald Trump because I told you this movie was good, fam. What you talking about? And then he's like, the original movie's way better, and I'm like, and I'm gonna say this right now, and if there's any Power Rangers fans that want to crucify me, then go ahead, I don't care. I'm gonna level with you guys. The original Power Rangers movie from 1995 with Ivan Ooze, compared to this movie, that movie's trash, okay? The fact that the movie itself is not even canon. They actually had to redo the Ninjetti saga because they realized the movie was not a financial success. I mean, it was a success because it was the 90s and, kids were gonna watch that anyway. But when it comes down to it, it made no sense, okay? This movie makes sense. You give a damn about what's happening. With Power Rangers, the original movie, you have to have known who Tommy, Naisha, and Rocky, and Adam, and Billy, and Kimberly were, okay? But this one, you're getting to know who the original 5 were, and a brand new film, and a brand new vision, and you actually give a damn about them.
Yeah. And also in the words of, Black Nerd, he says, people have opinions, and that's okay. Because if you are a Power Rangers fan and you want to see them take a different turn, do something different and everything, then that's a movie for you. But if you're a hardcore Power Ranger fan that you grew up in the 90s edition, and even furthermore, and you feel that, you want to stick to that, genre and just that series and that franchise or whatever, then that movie is not for you or whatever. So just people have their opinions. People have basically, choices or whatever if they just basically want to, see it or not or whatever. Just be open-minded to it, just as it check it out or whatever. Of course, it's not going to be an original Power Rangers or whatever because it's a reboot. It's not really supposed to.
You're not going to hear a bunch of whooshes every time they talk. How in Power Rangers, every time they talk or raise their hand, you hear those whooshes and stuff like that. You're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that in the movie. You're not gonna get.
Or EOS.
You're not gonna get any of that. You will get some references to the original Power Rangers, and the new ones, especially when Rita builds Goldar, she's make my monster grow. The fact that the entire plot of the movie is Rita trying to take the Zeo Crystal. Because apparently the Zeo Crystal is buried within underneath the earth, I'm not gonna say the Earth's core, probably the Earth's mantle. It's buried inside Earth's mantle. I'm trying to think geology wise. Geology. I'm trying to think of geology right now. It's buried inside Earth's mantle, and Rita wants that to, control the universe.
Or even basically the beginning of the Zords, where they basically run side to side together, which is the perfect moment where they basically introduce the original Power Ranger song.
Oh my god. Dude,
go!
No, not just the original one, dude. The one from the Power Rangers movie they brought back for when they were running into the city with their Zords. Also, real quick before we get into the well, let me finish up the Easter eggs. Also, when Jason's dad is driving down Angel Grove and he's like, Jason, where are you? He's on his phone, which, okay, we're talking about modern day issues. You shouldn't be on your phone while driving, especially when the city's under attack. He's like, Jason, where are you, man? Like, I'm trying to make sure you're okay. I'm on the streets of Reefside and Mariner Bay. If you guys didn't catch that reference, Mariner Bay and Reefside is the setting where Power Rangers Dino Thunder is. Mariner Bay is where Power Rangers Like to Be Rescued was. And everyone in the theater who, when I saw the premiere, actually caught that and clapped for that. Also, one of the coolest parts of the movie was that Amy Jo Johnson and Jason David Frank, who played Tommy and Kimberly, they made a cameo. Like after
they did a Stan Lee.
Yes, after they beat Goldar and like pimp slap Rita into space.
To the moon.
Yeah, into pretty much. I thought she was gonna shoot for the sun. I thought she was like going into the sun, and that would be really funny though. They show a scene where all the people in Angel Grove are like looking at this giant kaiju robot, and you see Amy Jo Johnson and Jason David Frank, and they actually whip out their phones and they start taking pictures. So they do pull a Stan Lee. It was actually really cool, and again, everyone in the movie theater erupted in applauses and stuff like that. Overall, and lastly, the music, the soundtrack to this movie actually fits. It was spot on. Like you got some of your old, you got your Power Rangers theme song. You had Kanye West before he lost his mind doing Power. I'm sorry. His song Power pretty much goes with almost anything action related. So the scene where the Zords are fighting the giant putties in downtown Angel Grove, because I forgot, it's not even downtown, it's a small community. It looks like Angel Grove is like Bakersfield or Fresno, California.
Yeah, especially when that scene where Kimberly was standing on top of rocks and she looked over the city of Angel Grove. It looks pretty big, but as in once you actually go into the city, it looks pretty small.
Yeah, it's pretty much Bakersfield or Fresno, and to be fair, well, it probably is one of those cities, because I'm sorry, Billy is like the only black dude in the town, and anyone who lives in Bakersfield or Fresno knows how racist they are. I'm not saying Angel Grove was racist, but I'm just saying. But yeah, overall, the music to that movie was phenomenal. I actually got the soundtrack on Google Play. I might be listening to that when I work out tomorrow. But yeah, so now let's get to the negatives, because as usual, all movies tend to have negative things, and there really is not a lot of negatives. Some of them are nitpicky, and some of them they're just minor things that I saw, and hopefully they do better, because again, this movie's an origin story, so, and it's a very well developed origin story, so I can't really harp it so much. But I will say some of the scenes, the way they were edited, were a bit clunky. Like there are scenes where the character would pause and there'll be no other dialogue. I know for a fact that this movie went into reshoots after the very first trailer was shown in October. They took out the scene where Kimberly and Jason kiss, which I'm completely fine with, because when Tommy comes in the sequel, which we know it's gonna happen because this movie is already gonna get a sequel soon. Yeah, Tommy doesn't show up, but Tommy's name does get mentioned in the mid-credits scene. Jason and Kimberly were supposed to kiss. Thankfully they didn't, because when Tommy comes in the sequel, I don't want him to pull a Mr. T on Jason and Kimberly, be like, hey woman, you want to be a real man? But I don't want him to be Mr. Studio Girl. Don't get me wrong, that'd be funny, because then it'll deal with the issue of, high school chicks, like they've been with their boyfriend for like months or probably a year. Next thing you know, the newest guy comes in and then she hops on him. Okay, I'm not gonna go in that route. Trying to keep PG. But some of the scenes in the movie were a bit clunky, and I know because of reshoots and stuff like that, but they could have done a fair enough job trying to fix some of the editing, fix some of the scenes where the dialogue just pauses out of nowhere and stuff like that. Like when Zack, and when Zack gets saved when they're escaping the minefield, and Jason's like, "Are you crazy?" He's like, "Yeah, I am," and and you don't hear nothing else. I mean, where's the punchline to that? And what else? What did you find anything wrong with it? Because I can go into mine.
Honestly, I didn't get enough action. I mean, in the movie or whatever, just as in they basically like, pull it more just as in dialogue, and when you do get action, it's mostly towards like, the third act, like towards the end or whatever. You didn't really get enough of it. Just as in when you first started off and everything, like, you get a little bit of dialogue and you get a little bit of action where you fight the putty just a little bit, and then you come across the monster towards the end where you fight the putties or whatever, and then just as in like, towards the end when you come with the Megazord, I didn't really like that approach of how it was introduced. Just as in like, you get the perspective of the illusion where basically Goldar is where basically Rita fused with Goldar, and Goldar is basically crushing the Power Rangers, like they Zords together, as in like, they basically suffocating, like they can't breathe or this and everything, like basically like, they saying to each other like, oh, we about to die, they say their goodbyes, like, and Billy is just like, it's heartwarming, like, thank you guys for being my friends and stuff like that, where, he pushes them towards the crystal or whatever. But as they come up and everything, like, the flames, it just as in you see the Zords morph, and it kind of gives the perspective of the idea as in the crystals help them morph instead of them morphing themselves. And I actually want to see more into that scene where they actually show them, all the Zords morph into the Megazord.
So you want what you're saying is you wanted the Zeo Crystal to be put in effect on how their Megazords start to form up and stuff.
Oh no! I'm just saying that's what it basically gives the perception, as in when they got pushed into the crystal, then the crystal's ability made them to morph into the Megazord.
So that's basically what I just said. You wanted the Zeo Crystal to be implemented in how their Megazord change.
No, not at all. Like, I want them to do it on its own.
Yeah, but you said what I'm hearing you say is that when they get pushed into Earth's mantle and stuff like that, because Earth's mantle, anyone who's a geology major or stuff like that, you know when you see a giant hole like that, and I actually will do a rebuttal to that when they're suffocating and stuff like that. I mean, if you've ever been around a volcano, or if you've ever been around a fire, like if you've seen like a house burn out, or if you've been out to the wilderness and you were, sitting at the campfire, sometimes inhaling all that smoke or getting all that heat and stuff will make you pass out at some point. But
but yeah, I mean, what I was saying is like I would like them to morph on their own, and I want them to show the Megazord being put together instead of like, basically like you get a few like, glimpses here and there of a shoulder blade being connected together or this and everything, and they just rise up, into the Megazord.
I get what you mean.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the way they edited it made it seems like they can't morph into the Megazord without the crystal. And I want them to basically show that, they don't need the crystal. They could just morph, automatically.
But they ain't they didn't morph with the crystal. The crystal had nothing to do with it when they morphed their Megazords and stuff like that. When the Megazords were built together, the Zeo Crystal was not implemented on how they did it.
No, I understand that, but how they edited it made it seem like that's the perception that is given away towards some people. Like, just as in the only way that, like I said,
the only way the Megazord can be formed is with the Zeo Crystal.
Yeah, like basically, if there's no Power Ranger fans and they was to see this for the first time, that's the perception that they'll receive, as in, okay, that's the only. I wouldn't say that's the only way, but towards that scene alone and their first time looking at it is as in, Gordon pushed them to the crystal, and then because of the crystal's power, they morph into the Megazord.
Okay, so I get what you mean now. Yeah. I honestly didn't see it like that. I just thought, like, if I'm thinking about old school Power Rangers, like when the Megazords first got introduced, they were coming out of the freaking out of the earth and stuff like that, and there was flames and stuff. I was just thinking that, and like when the Megazords started connected and stuff, that's when they rose out of the earth, like how they did in the old show.
Yeah, because in the older show, they actually show like the arm being connected or the head, all that being connected. And yeah, they do rise up or whatever. Just like it just simply after the Megazord was finished, then it just rised up and that's it.
They probably ran out of money, so they couldn't show that.
So I want to see, basically more action.
I feel so I feel as if like we got more character development out of Trini and Zach and Billy and Kimberly. Like I think with Jason, he was a little too bland for me. I think he was a little too bland because I'm like, okay, you're a football star, you effed up, now you're on house arrest. Oh, okay. I think I got more don't get me wrong. I think his chemistry with Billy, like when you were first introduced to Jason and when he smacks that nigga silly. Like he owed him money. Dude, I wish I could show. Honestly, I wish I could show that clip, but I'll get in trouble. But when Jason is first introduced to Billy, there's a bully who like breaks Billy's color pencils and stuff. Jason gets up and like is like, so you're the school bully, and just like he basically pulled a Rick James where it's like, what did the hand say in the face? Slap! Just smack that nigga, and he's like, did you slap me? He's like, yes I did. Yes I did. What you gonna do? I'm like, dude, when we saw Jason smack that fool, the entire theater just like, we're like, all you heard was damn. Everyone heard me say damn, and everyone started laughing. They're like, oh, and when it was like, oh, and I'm like, damn. But yeah,
he slapped her like he owed him money.
Like, you owe me money. Where's my money, man? But that was a straight savage move. But other than that, like, I honestly could not find any agency in Jason's character. Maybe I was just looking way too into it, and maybe because of the fact that honestly, Billy's my favorite character in the entire movie. And then there's Zach and Kimberly and Trini. Like everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, like Billy and Trini are the best parts of the movie. Like, I mean, you can say that, but to me, like, I like Billy's story. I like Zach's was actually very, very good. I think Zach's was very well developed.
Yeah.
When it comes to, he's not going to school because he's trying to earn money to make sure, take care of his mom and make sure she gets her meds so she doesn't die. Like I will say, yeah, Billy and Zach were probably my favorite characters. Like I like Trini and I liked her character dynamic and how like her mom is kind of like very, very like what's the word?
Perfect.
No, not perfect. No, not the perfect, but she's kind of not hypochondriac. I wouldn't say she's overprotective, but what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. GC, you're a parent. You probably know the word. But yeah, it's one I can't remember. It'll probably come up to me. But yeah, again, that's probably just a nitpick. I like Jason. I like the actor who plays Jason. I kind of wish that it was a little more character development with him. Like I kind of wish like at the end, like where like him and his dad are talking again, because like his dad almost dies and he doesn't know that his son saved him because his son's keeping his identity a secret, because when you're a ranger you can't tell people who you are unless you're an adult later on, like in Power Rangers.
And I could tell you when to tell him so bad, but he remember what Zordon said. It's like, you can't reveal your identity.
At that point, I'm like, but couldn't he just have heard him say, like he probably knows that that's Jason, because the way he said like Sam. So he probably does know, and he probably ain't gonna say nothing because he's like, yo, son, I know you're a Power Ranger, but your secret's safe to me. Just don't die, because I don't want your mama to get worried.
So it's basically like the same reaction in like the movie Man of Steel, where the bully and Clark Kent and how the bus basically got into the river and he saved it, and
he knows that Clark is Superman.
Yeah,
or like, no. I'd be like, no, or it's more like when Lois Lane, because Lois knows that Clark is Superman, and when at the end of Man of Steel, she knows that Clark Kent is Superman.
Yeah,
or Superman is Clark Kent. And then I think a couple of other things. Lastly, Goldar's design, dude. Like I still don't understand what why did they go the route with Gold Artist design? Granted, I understand why, because you're not gonna make a monkey, a gold flying monkey. Like, you're not that. But at the same time, like,
I think they were thinking of Wizard of Oz around that time when they first made Gordar.
Yeah, it's true. But I honestly I'm not a fan of Gold Artist design. I know he's not coming back. Now, if he comes back, that'd be funny, but he ain't coming back. But I couldn't get with Gold Artist design. I think it was a bit off. I know it's a reimagining and all, but Jesus Christ, it looks like it looks like his face looks like a glory hole.
Oh no, bad image. Bad image. I mean, and honestly,
a glowing red glory hole that shoots lasers out.
I thought you were gonna say golden shower. Like, oh no, that's going too far.
Oh, dude, no, bro. What are you talking about?
No,
PG, man, PG.
Alright, honestly, I don't like the putty design because, just as you know, like, they made them look like the rock formation or whatever. Just has it. Like I said it before. They reminded me of those Guardians and Power Rangers movie where they had the temple.
Yeah, they did.
They look exactly like them. They not look exactly like them, but they remind me of them.
They remind you of how the Guardians were in the Power Rangers movie. Dude, I didn't even think about that till now.
Yeah, that's who they remind me of. So it's like I did not like the design, just as them being places. Like, I get it, just as in, putties, just as in, like, like a muddy type of clay that you form to get it onto the ground. But I mean, they could have like did a better job in that. But that's who they remind me of.
Okay. But other than that, were there any other negatives that you saw in the movie? Because I only got a few. Because again, I watched it the second time, and these are the few things I picked up from it. You probably I will say this: the way they because in the movie Billy dies, but he comes back. The way they did it was, yeah, when they went to go fight Rita without telling Zordon, and like, because Rita pulled up on Trini at her house, and she's like, "I'm pulling up on you. I want you to send your homies a message, letting them know it's about to go down." And they're like, "Okay, you know what? we'll take her on ourselves." And then they get their butts stomped into the ground. And when Billy has to tell her that the Zeo crystal is at a Krispy Kreme donut shop, which, real quick, shout out to Krispy Kreme, because y'all about to get money after this movie.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if anyone goes to Krispy Kreme as much as they used to, but I'm pretty sure if anyone has watched the Power Rangers movie, you already know Krispy Kreme's about to be flooded with Power Ranger fans and people who saw the movie.
Because they would be packed every night since prior to the movie came out.
Really?
Yeah, the lines was wrapped around. Even cars was wrapped around.
Are you serious?
If you go to the one in Artesia, on the Artesia, right by the 91 freeway, it is packed with cars every night.
Oh my god. Yeah,
prior to the movie come out.
They finna, man, the Krispy Kreme finna get banked. Shouts to Krispy Kreme. But that's what I was saying. So Rita was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna kill you." And it's like, but to be fair, Zordon would lose any more respect for me if I didn't. So, and then she kills Billy by dropping him into the bay. And when they pull him out after she leaves and stuff like that, and they just assume, oh, he's dead. Like, I'm like, wait, y'all couldn't give, like, I know y'all teenagers, but I'm pretty sure y'all seen movies where they give mouth to mouth and stuff like that. Why don't you just give this fool mouth to mouth? Maybe he'll come back. Okay, but and I just realized, at the same token, her scepter is pretty much the Avada Kedavra curse, because she could suck the soul out of people. So I'm pretty sure when she hit Billy with it, it also killed him on impact as well before he dropped.
Yeah. But
I don't know. Maybe someone can clear it up in the comment section. I just didn't like the fact that how like they killed off Billy and then they brought him back and stuff like that.
Yeah, and also too, in the training sequence, I don't know. You must have a bomb memory or a very, very quick learner. Who mastered martial arts in 11 days? Hey
man, no, they didn't master martial arts. They just mastered the basics of fighting. You didn't see like Jason doing like 360 no scope jump kicks, and you didn't see like Billy doing like flash kicks until he gets into a suit and stuff like that. I think the only two you genuinely saw that you can actually believe was with Trini and Kimberly, and when they were training, not the scene from Krispy Kreme, the scene when they were like back to back, like Wolverine and Sabretooth fighting putties. You can genuinely take that and be like, okay, you know what, these two are probably the only two that can actually fight, and because all we know is Jason knows how to smack a nigga silly, so. And Billy, because Alpha smacked the heck out of Billy. He's like, alright, you ready? He's like, yeah, put your hands up, Billy. And I'm like, why
I did like a 360.
I will, real quick, I will say this. I don't know what the deal was, but do you realize how many people got smacked in this movie? Like, Jason smacked the bully, Alpha smacked Billy across the face. And then, at the climax of the movie, when they're about to like take Rita in, and she's like, "I'm not going in without a fight," and she jumps at the Megazord, and Trini backhands her into space. I'm like, "Damn, man, everyone's smacking everyone. Why?"
Oh man, and also you got plenty of references to her as well.
Oh yeah,
as you stated earlier too. And also, what kind of like made me laugh is when the yellow Camaro got kicked.
Sorry, Bumblebee.
Sorry, Bumblebee, because I was laughing because right when he kicked it, in my mind, I was like, no, Bumblebee. But right after I said it in my mind, that's when he said, sorry, Bumblebee. I was like, oh, I started laughing like so hard, like, just like, okay, they add that reference of Transformers in there.
But yeah, and then I will say this. I think again, one of my favorite scene in the movie is when, because in the final fight, Rita emerges with Goldar, and they fight, and she fights the Rangers and stuff like that. One of the coolest parts was two actually. One, when they were about to pilot the Megazord, they're like, "Let's do it, guys!" and they thrust, and then the Megazord just falls because they don't know how to pilot. He's like, my bad, because it's like it was the whole trope was like, okay guys, we're in our Megazords, let's go fight without even reading instructions or anything like that, and they go in and they fight, and they fail, and then they're like, okay, you pilot the legs, and we're all on three, 1, 2, 3, thrust. And then my favorite part is when the way they beat Goldar was, and me and my homie had said this out loud in the theater. During the movie, Alpha was showing them how to German suplex a putty and stuff like that. And in this movie, they don't have the power sword. They have swords, but it's not the power sword like in the show. The way they beat Goldar is they get behind him. They did. Well, yeah, but they're. I'll get to that in a minute. They get behind Goldar and they legit suplex Goldar into the ground. And when they did, me and my boy just screamed out loud, "Suplex City." You know what? Suplex City Witch. You know what? We said the actual word. Everyone laughed and everyone was applauding when we said that. That's a genuine fact. And then they pulled out the pterodactyl twin swords and stuck Goldar in the chest with it. That was my favorite part. My favorite scene in that whole movie, aside from when they were jumping off the cliff and stuff like that. When they were jumping off the cliff, I actually thought that was really, really cool. Because then Billy falls off the cliff after he lands, he's like dancing and he falls back, and Zach was like, "Did we just kill him?" And he's like, "Guys, come down here! You gotta say this." Here's my last nitpick. Zach continuously calling Trini the crazy girl. Like, we get it. Like, we know you have a thing for her. Mind you, she's probably gotten with more girls than you have, Zach. So, and they just won't say it yet. So you have no chance with Trini, bruh. And the fact that he continuously kept calling her crazy girl, and it was just like straight up flirting with her, like just like that. It's like, dude, like calm yourself. You ain't getting none, okay? She's not going going to put out for you, okay? Because you're a dude. and you know, she got enough on her mind. The last thing on her mind is some extremely horny dude, okay? So chill out. But
and then like, you know, my thing is too, just as if you look at the movie from the beginning, especially from the beginning, and also like, you know, towards the end, you pay attention to Zordon, you know, just as you know, giving a lot of crap, you know, to the Rangers, you know, at the beginning, just as, you know, their children, like, you know, just like, you know, they don't know what they, you know, pretty much like, you know, they don't know what they're doing, and it's like, even though he's giving off, you know, the intel, and just telling them, like, you know, you're not ready, you know, especially just like, you know, Jason, because he's the leader, just as you're not ready, just like, you know, I want this grid to basically, you know, come back to life so I can come through. Especially, I want to come back to life to take over again as leader, as the Rangers. And my thing was, you see at the beginning that the Rangers were killed, and I don't know, there was like an alien race. Cause
they were an alien race.
Yeah, they were an alien race. They got defeated, you know, by Rita, and a couple of humans defeat them. So it's like, what was so different that, if you pay attention, what was so different that the human Rangers defeated Rita so easily?
Oh, I can tell you that. I can debunk that right now, because of the fact that Rita stabbed them all in the back at one moment. This was probably during a mission or before, because around that time, when in the opening, when you see like Zordon trying to getting all the coins back from his dead teammates, this is around the time when you know, the meteor is about to hit, and, you know, extinct, and, you know, dinosaurs are just about to go extinct and stuff like that. So I know why. I mean, this is pretty much their end of days, and next thing you know, Rita stabs them all in the back. And not to mention, she was at full power. She had her suit on the entire time. And when you look at Rita now, when the scene where she pulls up on Trini at her house, and she's like, I'll show you my armor, you show me yours, and you see her get the green stuff back, she doesn't fully morph. Because I'm pretty sure, like, the power coin is like, bro, you too evil. We can't help. We can't do that. You got lucky the first time. You stabbed your homies in the back while you were in Ranger form. We can't have that now.
Yeah, and my friend, he didn't mention, like, at the beginning sequence, it kind of reminded him of the unofficial version on YouTube, the Power Rangers movie.
Oh yeah, the fan film on that. The guy who produced Dread did. Yeah, like I get that. I honestly was thinking that the first minute of the movie, when Zordon is getting all his team's coins because they're all dead now, I think they the director pulled that inspiration from that fan film R-rated Power Rangers movie that came out a couple of years ago. And I actually do commend him for that, because that's actually a really good fan film. If you guys haven't yet, please make sure you check it out. But yeah, dude, I think that's about it. Is there anything else we can cover?
That's pretty much it. Besides, you know, like I said, there's also a couple of, you know, hints that they're going to work on a part 2 to the movie, and basically at the end of the credits, it's obviously, like, you know, where the teacher was announcing, you know, Tommy Oliver,
Bueller.
Yeah,
Bueller.
So
no.
Okay, yeah.
Real quick, I will say this. I think the biggest disappointment about this movie, what made me so upset about this movie, was that we did not get a Justice League Power Rangers crossover. Because, for those of you who don't know, DC and Power Rangers did a crossover event recently where the Justice League and the Power Rangers teamed up. I was honestly expecting Bruce Wayne to pop up at their school, pull up on them, and be like, so I saw what happened. You guys did pretty good. He's like, thanks, stranger or mister, who are you? Bruce Wayne. I'm here to talk to you guys about the Justice League Initiative or something like that. Or it's like,
the way you say it is like Iron Man popping up on Spider-Man.
That's like, genuinely what I thought.
Like,
I'm kind of disappointed that they ain't pull that off. That would have been really, really funny. But yeah. But other than that, what would you rate this movie? Like, would you rate it as like a full price, or like a rental, or don't see this movie? Here's a question: would you want to go see this movie again, GC?
Yes, I would.
All right, good. So there you have it, guys. That's our rating. We would most definitely tell you guys, if you are a Power Rangers fan, you've been waiting for something a little different than your usual television show where happy-go-lucky things happen, then watch this movie. Genuinely go in with an open mind, watch this movie, and just look at how well developed the origin story and how well developed most of the characters are. If you are and I'm stealing what Andre Blacknerd said, if you are a diehard Power Rangers fan who loves the show and loves how that goes, then you might not enjoy this movie.
And even when you do go and you have that mindset, you ruin it for yourself, because you have your mindset on the old school Power Rangers, and this is supposed to be like this, and it's supposed to be like that. So you're ruining your whole experience of being there instead of just having an open mind, just to checking it out.
Like, let me put it like this: this is not Ghostbusters, okay? This is not the reboot of Ghostbusters that no one honestly asked for. This is not Max Steel, which no one even batted an eye about. This is most definitely not Monster Trucks. This is not like anything you wanted in the 80s or 90s. This is something in which a guy who very much respects the origin and respects the legacy of Power Rangers, he does it in an image that does not insult or offend fans, and actually more likely gain new fans and new followers of Power Rangers. So please go in, watch this movie with an open mind. You will genuinely enjoy this movie. Again, Billy's my favorite character, and Zach as well. And overall, guys, that's pretty much it. If you guys haven't yet, and if you like this video, if you like that review, hit it with a thumbs up. If you didn't, obviously hit us with a thumbs down. And well-constructed criticism is always welcomed. If you haven't yet, well, please be sure to like, comment, and share this video. Also, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, follow my boy GC at MrGodchild15 on YouTube, follow him at Godchild15 on Twitch as well as Twitter. And yeah, you got any final words, GC?
I'll put it to you this way, you guys. Just look at it as in, when you go see the movie, it's not like you going to the movie to see Dragon Ball Evolution.
What movie?
Dragon Ball Evolution.
What movie?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, that movie don't exist to him and to many others. So pretty much this movie is 100 times more than 1,000 times better experience than going to see that garbage.
Wait, what garbage are you talking about?
Oh, peace, dude. Peace.
this is Reckless Fox and MrGodchild15 telling you guys peace out, bless up, keep on making these $20 or less, and we'll see you on the next review, whatever movie that's gonna be. Peace.
Peace.